Alright, peoples, let's get things started. Alright, we're going to kick things off out on Sunday Night Heat. I'm going to announce this really quick. Lynn versus Grandmaster Sexa. This match would pretty much go down the way it went on the show with Crash Holly. Lynn kind of cheats, grabs the tights to win, or in this case, probably pants, and beats Grandmaster Sexa. Okay, and then we go to Backlash, which has got a subtitle, Bragging Rights. Anyway, we kick things off with the WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team titles. The thing here is we've got Shane McMahon has announced on Heat that there will be a surprise tag team in this. And that's also communicated by the announcers, which are, of course, Scott Hudson and Dusty Rhodes for this match. Because all the WCW matches are going to be called by Scott Hudson and Dusty Rhodes. The combined matches, though, are going to be called by Jim Ross and Dusty Rhodes. And of course, the WWF matches are going to be called by Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. Okay? So for this, Dusty's like, I don't know who's going to be facing these people, these champions in Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. I'm very curious to see who's coming over to challenge these champions people. That's a very bad Dusty Rhodes impersonation, but yeah, something along those lines, probably a little bit better. I'm sure Dusty could do a better job. Anyway, so we got the original some of the original teams: Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo, and Shannon Moore and Evan Karagias. Uh, but the surprise is that the third challenging team are Kai and Tai. And again, I know these guys were essentially jobbers in WWF, but guys, come on, they had great athletic ability, and I think if you put them in this situation, uh, and showcase them, they could at least look credible in this situation. Because, in my opinion, WWF or WWE has never been able to do tag teams right. Anyway, the first team to be eliminated is Shannon Moore and Courageous. The second team is Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo, and then we come down to two teams, the Kai and Tai and the Filthy Animals. And it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And of course, Ray manages to get the pin on Funaki. Um, so, yeah. And then we go to our hardcore title match, Rhyno versus Test. Uh, Basically, the way this would go down is it'd be brawling all over the arena. They'd go somewhere in the back, and Rhyno go uh, Test right through a table or something. And 1, 2, 3. And Rhyno wins. Cruiserweight versus WCW Cruiserweight Champion versus the WWF Light Heavyweight Champion. So the way this goes down is Shane Helms hits the gives Crash a run for his money, beats him 1, 2, 3 with the Vertebreaker, and WCW gets the first win. Okay, and then we get the WWF Tag Team Champions versus the WCW Tag Team Champions. Basically, I'd have this end in a situation where the champions of Edge and Christian have like we put over the fact that they've got much more experience in, and they're gonna, and Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo are just gonna have to, in order to win, would have to try and overcome that. But in this case, they come up a little short. There's a distraction by or the referee. Wham! They cheated out of the win by Edge and Christian, and it's just one of those situations where the announcers say, "Well, the experience got to them." Okay, US champ versus IC champ. The US champ is Shane Douglas. He's beaten Booker T for the US title, but it was a situation where there was a distraction or something in that situation. But here in this situation, it's Chris Jericho versus Shane Douglas. Chris Jericho has not lost the Intercontinental title to Triple H yet. That will happen soon. But Jericho just gets the win here with the Walls of Jericho on Shane Douglas. And it's just like, oh. Again, then we get cut away to a backstage segment with Vince McMahon, who's just like, in very short order, WWF is gonna beat this WCW. They may have beaten Crash Holly, but they can't beat my team of Big Show, Kane, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle. And then we cut away Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon's like, I've got my guys here in DDP, Jeff Jarrett, Dustin Rhodes, and The Wall. And my guys are going to win here. And they're going to put WCW back on the winning track. Okay, in this situation, it's just the again, I'd be still doing the rivalry between Benoit and Kurt Angle. And the way this would go down is Kurt and that would be like, what are you doing? And why can't you listen to me? And no, listen to me, blah, blah, blah. Distraction. Jeff Jarrett hits Benoit with the guitar. 1, 2, 3. WCW's back on the winning track. Okay, it's 2-2. And in the final match, and it's announced, because this was not expected, so it's Triple H, the Game, and he's going to come out with Vince and Stephanie to take on Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. And Bam Bam gets the win because Triple H gets DQ'd for trying to hit Bam Bam with a sledgehammer. WCW 1, 2, 3, WWF 2. They've gotten 50% of the pay-per-views for the year that WWF was allocated. Okay, so then we go to our double main event. Booker T versus Vampiro. Highly competitive match. Booker T gets the win. 1, 2, 3. Put in about 15 minutes for that one. Then we have Undertaker versus Stone Cold. Again, this would essentially just go down the way the Judgment Day match went down. Triple H interferes, costs Undertaker the match, and they're very disappointed. Okay, then we go to the Raw the night after, and Vince McMahon is, of course, very disappointed. He says that this is not the end, this is just the beginning, and sooner or later WCW is going to screw up, and I'm going to get smacked back. Okay, and then we kick off the show with Jerry Lynn taking on Crash Holly, and essentially Jerry Lynn gets the win. Then we go to a six-man tag team match. Bubba Ray, Devon, and Spike taking on the X Factor. And yeah, Bubba Ray, Devon, and Spike get the win. European title match. Now this is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put this in. Matt Hardy versus Taz. Now Taz is already very disgruntled about this. He's essentially similar. This would end similar to what happened. Taz gets upset, distracted. Matt gets the twist of fate, and it's essentially just it's a lucky pin. And Matt celebrating with Lito, doing the Hardy symbol. And Taz just grabs the mic and he says, "Screw this, I quit." Drops the mic, walks back. And we do cutaway scenes to him leaving the arena. And he there's a camera in the parking lot, and the camera does comes across Taz talking to someone in a limo, but we can't see who or what's going on. He gets in a limo, and the limo drives away. But we can't see what's going on. We're like, what the heck's going on? But of course, you can guess what's going on. Undertaker and Kane versus Edge and Christian. Undertaker and Kane just whip ass in this match. They just whip ass. Then we go to our main event of Raw. Triple H versus Chris Jericho. Austin stuns Jericho after the referee's been knocked down. Bam, bam, a pedigree referee gets up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the Nitro after Backlash. Now, okay, Bam Bam comes out. He says he's taking great pleasure in destroying Triple H, and he essentially didn't, but basically during the match he kicked ass. But and Bischoff comes out and says, "We'll no longer be mentioning anyone from that other company that runs on another night of the week." But Shane McMahon will continue scouting for the best talent, and he has done so. I'd like to introduce to you the human suplex machine, Taz. Taz comes out. He says, "I'm wrestling again, and I'll." And then he turns to Bam Bam, who's still in the ring, and he says, "I'll be seeing you later tonight." Okay, and then we go to a very hot 6-man tag team match. Shannon Moore and Evan Karagias with Chavo Guerrero taking on the Filthy Animals and Shane Helms. Okay, and I'd have Chavo beat Billy Kidman in this match with whatever finishing maneuver he was using at the time. I can't remember if he was using the Gory Bomb yet or he was still using the Tornado DDT. Let's say get the pins in with the Tornado DDT. Okay, then we go to number one contenders match for the US title. Dustin Rhodes versus Mark Jindrak. Dustin gets the win. Okay, the Mamalukes versus Big Vito and Mamalukes, which are Big Vito and Johnny the Bull Simboli, taking on Mike Sanders and the Disco Inferno. They get the win after a distraction by Stacy. Anyway, Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Taz wins by submission. Okay, Raven with Steven Richards takes on DDP. Raven wins after some distractions. And of course, then Saturn comes in from the crowd and hits his finisher, which would be the three-handed credenza on Raven. Not what I thought I remember doing, but okay. Jeff Jarrett and Vampiro team up to take on Booker T and the Wall in our main event. And I would have Vampiro get the win here on Booker T. He can just get the pin. Okay, guys. Sorry, I kind of rushed through that. And then, again, I wouldn't be putting a lot of promos into this, except for a few here and there. Okay, thanks for